So I'm really excited about a new avionics piece that I received this week, and I want my fellow aviators to know all about this because it has a lot of potential. And that's this. Boom! The Aerovonics AV-20. It was recently announced at Oshkosh AirVenture 2018 in July, and been waiting for the NORC approval. Well, what's NORC? Well, this device is not a primary instrument. It's intended as a non-required safety-enhancing piece of equipment. So it's going to go where a clock is ideally, because that's one of the functions this does. Let's go ahead and power this up and you can see what it does. I got a nice little 12-volt lithium-ion battery back here, and I'm going to connect it up and let this boot while I tell you all about it. So here we go, Aerovonics AV-20. The nice thing is it will go back to the last screen it was set on. And this device has a number of features that we'll go over. It's a probeless angle of attack. It's an attitude indicator, a G meter, a clock, outside air temperature display, bus voltage. It shows a number of different timers, density, altitude, airspeed, and it's also got a backup battery. So right now it's aligning, and when power's lost while it's running, it's got to go through a little bit more alignment, and we can calibrate it accordingly once everything's booted up if we need to. We'll get back to that. So right now it's on the attitude indicator screen. We'll come back to it and show you about that feature. And let's start at the first screen. It is basically a clock. That's exciting, right? Well, it is. I don't know about you, but my analog clock is very unreliable in my 1972 Cessna. And this will be installed in that Cessna later this week for further testing, and I'll show you more about it in flight and how it operates. It also will show Greenwich Mean Time as well as local time. I haven't configured California time in here, so you don't see a difference yet. It shows our bus voltage, which is pretty neat. Got 12.3 volts on my little lithium-ion battery, and this will work on up to 30-volt systems. It shows our AOA, and if I had an outside air temperature probe connected, which I'm waiting for, it's currently out of stock at Aircraft Spruce, it would show that, as well as showing our airspeed and density altitude based on temperatures and calibrating that accordingly. And that would be true airspeed, not necessarily what our calculated speed is or ground speed. Come over here, we have an engine run time, we have a flight time, and this is based off of pitot pressures. And I got a nice little tube here. We'll connect this up to our pitot, and I'll demonstrate that here in a second. We have a number of timers. We have 2 of them, which is great for IFR flying, so we can time our turns and different procedures. And we can also set this to count down. We'll press both buttons, come over here, set it to 3 seconds, and we'll set a 3-second timer. I have a speaker hooked up to it, so we'll hear the tones as it puts out when we hit the 3 seconds. A nice little soft tone that can be configured into your audio panel so that you can get those alerts when you hit the timer. It's also, like I said, an AOA, angle of attack indicator, which is useful. It's the big thing is that a lot of people want to fly angle of attack instead of, stall speeds. This will be a lot of use for flight schools, teaching that whole philosophy in a lot of those aging aircraft, as well as a G meter, or showing our load. I'm not going to really try to put too much stress on this. It's not installed. A numerical feature representation of our G load, and also both G load and AOA at the same time, showing our max minimums that we can hit, as well as being able to clear those both at the same time and start over from a 0 reference. So that can be useful, especially some of those aerobatic aircraft out there. Nice little pits. We can come over here to the next screen. We have our backup attitude indicator. This is something I'm really excited about. When I first bought my plane about 6 months ago or so, first thing to go, directional gyro. Second thing to go, attitude indicator. And now my turn skid indicator is making noise. So you can think of this as a nice little backup instrument. Flying along and your attitude indicator just isn't right. Well, this is a solid state piece that can really represent what's going on, it will show our AOA at the same time. Now, I skipped the AOA screen previously to really demonstrate how the AOA works here. We have a slip skid indicator. I haven't really been able to test that. We'll test it more when we get this installed. And I'll show you how the AOA works. I'm going to apply some static pressure to the pitot tube, and not static pressure, I'm applying pressure to the pitot tube. And when I hit the first level, you'll hear a single tone. When I hit the second level, which is more critical, you'll hear a double tone over the speaker. And then when I hit the maximum critical angle or angle of attack, you'll hear check level. So here we go. I'm going to apply pitot static, and you'll see that demonstrated.
Check angle, check angle. Angle, check angle.
That's another nice feature, is that when you're on a different screen and you hit that AOA, it will pop right up to that AOA screen. Other features, we have all our settings where you can set temperatures, whether Fahrenheit and Celsius, 24-hour versus 12-hour. Also our limits for our AOA, number of settings that we can go through on this page. Device came with a really nice little 9-pin wiring harness. It's all labeled. All these wires say what they are. Should be properly done with any avionics out there. And it's a 2.5-inch instrument, which will fit nicely where your existing clock is, or any other hole that you might not have occupied. The device also has a 30-minute internal battery, and when it senses that you're in flight and power is lost, it will continue to operate. So I have over here is my battery connections, and I'm going to disconnect power and apply static pressure or air pressure to the pitot tube, and you'll see that this will continue to run. Let's go ahead and go to the AI screen. I'll move it around as I have pressure applied and disconnecting power. Once air pressure is lost, or say come in for landing and your airspeed gets below 40 knots, it will shut down. So let's go ahead and connect power back up. I'm really excited about this AV-20 and can't wait to have this installed in the next couple days. Boom, it's back ready to operate and useful for your next flight. So that's the AV-20. It's available for orders now, $895, and includes the wiring harness. Will fit in your 2-inch hole. It's approved for non-pressurized aircraft. There's no AML because it's North Sea, and they're ready to ship. Really excited about it. Check out aerovonics.com to learn more. Also, too, they have this. This is their AV-30. I'm looking forward to this piece coming out in 2019. It's a 3-inch instrument that will replace your primary attitude indicator or directional gyro, and it can also display a lot of the same things as the AV-20, as well as integrating with your GPS navigational system to display overlays as far as headings and what not to fly. And this has a big battery that can operate as a backup battery when electrical's lost. This thing's really cool. Really excited about it. I don't know about you, but those vacuum-driven instruments out there, they're not super reliable. They fail after as little as 300 hours. Vacuum pumps going out. It's just something I don't want to deal with, especially as I start getting more and more into IFR flying. But this AV-20 is going to be a nice little backup instrument to have in the lower left corner where my clock is. And I look forward to having this installed and doing some testing on it over the next couple weeks and posting more reviews. Check out aerovonics.com and learn more.